Security experts. Let's get a little more insight now on cyber attacks and what can be done to protect our computer systems. Greg Garcia is the former Assistant Secretary for Cybersecurity with the Department of Homeland Security. He's joining us now live from Washington. Thanks for being with us, Greg. You just heard about the threats from China. Can you expand on that a little bit? What are your thoughts?
Well, this really is the new warfare of the 21st century, and it's happening not just from abroad, but it's happening within our borders as well. Anything from massive exfiltrations of data from government networks to massive theft of consumer credit card numbers from retailers to attacks on our critical infrastructure like the electric grid or water purification, chemical manufacturing. All of our networks are vulnerable, and the new White House cyber czar is going to have a full job to raise awareness across the country that it is everybody's responsibility to protect themselves.
Yeah, so what do you think about the creation of this position? I mean, is there any one person who could actually do something about some of the vulnerabilities that you just mentioned?
Well, certainly governing in Washington is a bit of an art. You know,
That's a good way to put it.
The end result could look like a Jackson Pollock painting or a Mona Lisa. It depends on the credibility and the competence of the person in charge. This is a person who's going to have senior government experience. It's going to have executive business experience. It's going to have to be somebody who is skilled in diplomacy, because this is an issue on the international stage now. And I think the most important responsibility is, as we heard earlier, to coordinate all of the various moving pieces within the federal government to ensure that each agency that has responsibility is aligned toward unity of purpose.
Well, yeah, and that seems like it would be at least step number one in coming into this position, right? Because obviously there are many different facets here, many different departments. Does each one of them right now have their own sort of cyber expert, if you will?
Yes, they do, and they have different authorities. If you're talking about the Defense Department that has the responsibility to protect the .mil domain, the military networks, or the intelligence community that does surveillance, the Homeland Security Department that does outreach to the private sector, to state governments. This has been going on for a long time. Since 2003, we've had a national strategy to secure cyberspace. So this is not new substantively, but it is good that the Obama administration is putting a real punctuation point on the importance of this issue. And I would also say, Heidi, step two is to work with the Congress. There are many congressional committees that are now waking up to this issue, and they want to take leadership on this. And each of those committees is responsible for a different federal agency. If there's infighting on Capitol Hill among the committees about who's in charge, there's going to be infighting down in the federal agencies about who's in charge. The congressional leadership needs to get their committees aligned and determine what is best for Congress to do to fill the gaps in our policy framework.
All right, very good. Well, we'll be watching closely the announcement and then who is going to get the job. Thanks so much. Greg Garcia is a former Assistant Secretary for Cybersecurity with the Department of Homeland Security. Appreciate it, Greg.
Thank you.